What is up, guys? On today's video, we're going to learn how to properly set up and use the Sutefoto S-60 Glide Cam. If it sounds interesting, stay tuned. Alright, thanks guys so much for joining us today. On today's episode, we have a special giveaway. We're actually going to be giving away one of our Glide Cams. Now this thing has been slightly used, not very much, still really good condition. We have a manual and everything else inside this box. We have too big of cameras to use this for now, and along with the Sutefoto S-60 that we have no more use for this glide gear. Now this thing is great for a point and shoot camera or GoPro. It works perfect for those types of cameras. A little bit lighter. You can also get hookups for your cell phone, so these work great. Now if you're interested in this giveaway, all you have to do is hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. This is going to be going through the month of July, so you guys have until August 1st of 2017 for this giveaway. So if you guys are interested, again, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and thank you so much for watching. Now, that being said, let's get into the Sutefoto S-60. Now this piece of equipment I have now had for some time now, and I've learned the insides and outs of it and what I like and dislike about this product. There was a few things when I first started and I first received this. I was super stoked because we have this bubble level. Well, it doesn't work too great. It doesn't work not good because obviously a bubble can't be screwed up. However, it shows a centering mark. I'll show you in the camera. It shows a centering mark, but it really doesn't make much sense. It just doesn't. So anyway, whatever. They kind of screwed up there. Doesn't make sense. We can put a notch in later with maybe with a permanent marker or something like that ourselves to fix it. We have to do a lot of DIY stuff around here. Anyways, when we're first setting up this camera to be used on the glide gear, we need to make sure right off the bat that we have our lens that needs to be used. We're not going to be using a zoom lens. It's just not going to work for the type of shooting we're going to be doing. Because when you're zoomed in, everything is really shaky really fast. Even with image stabilization, it's probably not a good idea to use a big lens like this on a rig like this. So what we want is the widest angle lens we have. In my case, I happen to have the Nikon 18 to 55 stock lens. Nothing fancy, but we're gonna drop it down to 18 millimeters, slap this guy on there, and we're also gonna be making sure that we're set to infinity on our zoom. So this is going to give me everything in focus because there's not going to be time to run up and adjust our focus or adjust our zoom at all when we're shooting on this rig. This is mostly just wide open, capture things just like a GoPro. Just capture what's in front of you and you worry about your movements. Okay, so now that we have that in, we can't yet put this on the rig because if we do get it balanced, we gotta still throw on our battery and SD card, and if we balance it without those in there, it's gonna be way off whack. So we need to make sure that there's an SD card in there. There is, and also the battery. Again, there is. So we are now ready to go. Also, make sure that there is no strap or anything hanging or dangling from your camera that could cause the weight to be thrown off. This could cause some serious issues later on. Okay, so head plate. This is the plate that is going to be screwed onto the bottom of our camera. Similar to any regular tripod or anything like that, we'll just screw it into the bottom of the camera, make sure it is straight across, and line down the shot of the lens there. I'll do a close-up of that. Okay, great. So now the camera is ready to go. Next up, we have our secondary head mount. Now this is actually going to be showing us all the niches and notches of where we can line up our precision of our camera to keep everything in balance. This just slides right in here, just like so. Perhaps not. Why don't you, there we go. Okay. It's on backwards though. Okay. Why you cause trouble? Okay, so we're on and we're good to go. Everything is locked in. Okay, so now that we have those on our camera, it is now ready to be locked into our Sutefoto S-60. Now again, just as we did on this step here, sliding the head mount to the plate, we're going to do the same exact thing. Again, fun stuff. Make sure it's pointing the right direction. Okay. And we just slide that in just like that. And now make sure everything gets screwed in and is secure and tight at this point. We do not want to move a rig around and have the camera slip out, fall, and break. That would suck. Okay, so now that the rig is tight and screwed together, we can now start to focus in on balancing. Again, double check to make sure that everything is in, our memory card and our battery. The strap is off, everything is good to go. As you can see, it's already sitting crooked. Now this is not good because we need it to sit straight. That's a problem. So that means we need to balance our rig. And since it is sitting crooked, we're going to look at the weight up top of the camera. We're going to adjust our mounts here until we find out where this is happening. Now this takes some time, let me tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be just slap it on and boom, good to go. Yeah, that's the wrong direction. So it definitely takes some getting used to. No matter how good you are, it's going to take time and it's going to be a little finicky. We're getting there, we're getting there. Whoop, too far. All right, back the other direction. Now this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is real time, ladies and gentlemen. It takes time. So when you're setting up for a client, you kind of want to make sure you have your notches like already preset. You want this preset up. You don't want to show up at a wedding and be like, hey, here we go, fiddling, because your wedding client is going to be like, yo, come on, man. Or not just wedding client, but any client for that matter. We need to keep things rolling, and that is our job as a cinematographer if you want to make money, right? I mean, time is money, and in our world, it is extremely, extremely crucial. Oh, so close. Okay. Dang, we're getting close. A little bit further to the other direction. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's even a little further than that. So close. I'd say that is pretty close right there, huh? All right, so another thing now, once we have it lined up, which we are at we are at 1 and we're at half here. Okay, so we're lined up. So now it's our drop test. Now we need to know how much weight do we need on this rig to actually hold the camera where it needs to be held and keep it kind of floating. This is also a tricky part because there's multiple ways to look at this rig. We have our weight up here. Again, it's got to be balanced, but we got weights down here that can be moved all over the place and really dial in. Now, as of right now, I have 2 of the smallest weights on this rig, and honestly, I'm pretty sure that's where it needs to be. We need a drop test here. This is going to show us about 3 seconds from getting here to here. Okay? 1 Mississippi, 2. That's still a little fast, isn't it? Slow, but 1 Mississippi. 1 Mississippi, 2. It's about 2 seconds. That's still a little fast. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to drop the rig and shrink it. Now this is going to give me less weight at the bottom to hopefully give me a slower fall. 1 Mississippi. 1 Mississippi. Ooh. Might even be able to go a little lower. There we go. This is bottomed out. Slow as it goes. Let's take a look. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. There we go. You see how nice and slow that fall is? Look at that. That's what I'm looking for. That means that the weight on the bottom has counterbalanced the weight at the top. Again, another test we can do. Let's get that balanced right up. Let's see. Ooh, since we pulled that up, look at that. We now have changed the weight of the camera and now it's sitting crooked again. That needs to be fixed. So as you can see, again, I can tell you this time after time after time, this is finicky, and this is the major part of getting this rig right. If the weight of this rig at all is crooked or unbalanced, it's going to throw your entire shot off, and you might as well not even have this rig. Crucial that we spend the time and get this rig floating just right, because if not, you're going to end up with some really crappy footage that's a waste of time. So Take your time, make sure you get this step done correctly so we can move on to the next step, which is actually learning how to use this rig in the field.
One eternity later.
There we go. Okay, so double check my drop test. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Great. So now that we're lined up, another test we can do is the forward, backward, side to side. So forward, backward, side to side. Forward, backward, side to side. Now the camera should almost sit exactly still. It's pretty darn close. It needs to look like a chicken head. There was still a tiny bit that could have been done, and I need to do it. Unfortunately. So I'm gonna speed this up because I'm sorry, we're cutting ahead.
One eternity later.
Okay, so now that my rig is properly balanced, we can see that the camera sits and floats perfectly still in this scenario. Look at that, perfect. The rig is no longer wiggling and throwing all over the place. It is now, I'm pushing forward and side to side, perfectly balanced. That's how this rig needs to look. Now we can move on to the next step, which happens to be how to properly walk with the steady rig. Okay, so now we're gonna take a look at the proper stance on how to stand using the Sutefoto S-60. There's different ways of doing this, but this is my way, and I've honestly had the best results from this stance. Now, in my opinion, standing out here with your knees bent like this and slowly walking forward is going to give you the absolute best results. Because if you don't have your knees bent, all of the walking that you're doing is actually going to be going into your arm, and it's going to give it somewhat of a bounce, and we don't want any bouncing here. It needs to be smooth and buttery. So by bending our knees, we're using our knees as shock absorbers, and this is actually going to be taking away a lot of the jitter and bumpiness from the shoot. So, bend our knees, here we go, and we're walking forward, trying to keep this camera still as we possibly can, and we're getting some beautiful glide cam shots. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for a chance to win the glide cam. Till next time, peace out.